At the time of John's vision, in 90 AD, the seventh head, or power, had not yet come into being. Revelation chapter 17, verses 10 through 11, gives us a clue as to when the seventh will arise. Quote, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space, and the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7. End quote. Of the 7 kings here mentioned by John, the one, the king that is the existing empire of his time, Rome. Rome, then, is the 6th head or power. What, then, is the 7th world power that must continue a short space? Clearly, the 8th head, and not the 7th, is the apocalyptic beast. The prophet Daniel, in chapters 2, 7, and 8, saw the beast as revived Rome. Therefore, the 7th head cannot be revived Rome, for revived Rome is reserved for the beast's 8th head. You see, the phrase, the 7th must continue a short space, indicates that the 7th world power must rise and fall rapidly, sometime between the 6th, the old Rome, and the 8th, the new Rome. To discover what nation the 7th world power is, we must look at the distinctive features of the previous 6, for all 7, ladies and gentlemen, have the same characteristics. First, the 6 were controlled by sun-worshipping Mystery Babylon, Revelation chapter 17, verse 9. Second, each had a profound yet singular effect upon Israel. John adds 2 more distinctions for identifying the 7th. In Revelation chapter 17, verse 10, he informs us that the 7th must be short-lived. And in Revelation chapter 12, verse 13 and 18, John indicates that Israel must be reconstituted a nation before the 8th, the beast, can arise. Israel was reconstituted a nation in 1948. Therefore, the 7th head had to have been a nation that, 1, rose and fell rapidly sometime before 1948. Number 2, worshipped the sun god. And number 3, was controlled by modern Mystery Babylon, or English Freemasonry. And 4, had a profound effect upon the Jews. Clearly, the 7th head, or world power, is Nazi Germany. For Germany, under Nazism, fits the above-mentioned criteria. It rose and fell rapidly before 1948. It worshipped an occult ideology and fell rapidly. The occult ideology it worshipped, and the figure whose emblem was the swastika, which we have seen, is an Eastern occult symbol, ladies and gentlemen, as I have revealed to you on previous broadcasts of the Hour of the Time, of the sun, spelled S-U-N. Germany and Hitler were supported and raised up by the powers and personages of English Freemasonry, and it conducted systematic genocide against the Jews. Listed below, and I'm going to read them all to you, are the 7 historic world powers, their sun gods, and the profound yet singular effect of each on Israel. The world power number 1 was Egypt. The god was Osiris. The effect on Israel was the Exodus, about 1400 BC. The second world power was Assyria. The sun god was Baal. The effect on Israel was it scattered the 10 northern tribes in 721 BC. The third was Babylon. The sun god was Marduk. It took Judah and Benjamin captive in 606 BC. Then came Persia, who worshipped Zoroaster, and sent a remnant back to Jerusalem in 535 BC. Next was Greece, who worshipped Zeus, prepared the Jews for the first coming of the Messiah. And then Rome, whose god was Jupiter, scattered the Jews among the Gentile nations in 70 AD. And then Nazi Germany, the swastika symbol of the sun, and the Holocaust forced the Jews back to Palestine to resurrect Israel in 1948. And it doesn't matter how many were killed or not killed. Arguing over numbers is absolutely ridiculous, although I will say this: the numbers have been grossly misrepresented. In Revelation chapter 13, verses 1 and 2, and 17, verse 9, it says this, quote, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth." End quote. The body of the 7-headed and 10-horned beasts consists of a leopard, a bear, and a lion. The composite nature of the beast may represent 3 regions of the world. The 7 heads are historically identifiable nations by the time the beast, the 8th horn, rises to power. Yet Revelation chapter 17, verse 9, appears to indicate that the 7 heads are also 7 end-of-the-age nations, for the whore of Babylon sitteth, present tense, on 7 mountains. There are several prophecies in Scripture which, like Revelation 17:9, set a dual prophetic precedence. One is found in Daniel chapter 11, where the prophet is foretelling the rise and fall of the Grecian Empire. According to English and Bauer, verse 21 is a prophecy of the rise of Antiochus Epiphanes, who ruled Syria 3 centuries later, around 175 BC. As Daniel's vision unfolds, the commentators state that it is evident Antiochus becomes a type of the tribulation beast. Thus Daniel's one prophecy covered 2 future events, one 300 years from his time, and one to occur at the end of the age. Likewise, the 7 heads on the beast in Revelation chapter 17, verse 9, appear to refer to historic nations as well as to nations existing at the end of the age. And, ladies and gentlemen, we will finish tomorrow night. As always, good night, and God bless you all.